see if anyone pops in. There should be a couple, I'm thinking. Just get organised. I've come up the road a bit so I get some privacy. God, I'm near the freeway. I'll put some go juice in that. I might leave the phone there. It's out of the wind, it's a bit windy. How's everyone doing today? I've only been up. Not sure what the time is. 40 minutes or something like that I've been awake. Morning. Gone. Typical. Some go juice in there. Who we got? Morning. Just getting organised. Got about half a tank in there. I've got another project to reveal, whoever's watching. Morning, Vintage. I'm up the road near the freeway's directly behind me, so if I do it at home, the kids will be trying to get in the shot and annoy me. They do it all the time. As soon as they hear me talking, they run to see who it is or what I'm doing. Can't do a video like a repair video. That's why I've been going live this week. It's just easier to do when I get the chance. I think Darcy's still asleep. He's going to miss out. He'll have to watch it back. Have I got rags? I need to wipe. I've got cloths. Actually, there might be a rag in my work bag there. Just give me a tick. That's rubbish, I think. I'll have to use one of these cloths that I've got for windows and dashes and stuff. So since you're watching Vintage, I went out to because I've got a 3x3 garden shed out the back. It's chock-a-block full of saws and parts. Majority, I've got 2 lawnmowers in there, a couple of whippersnippers, but they're over in the corner. My golf stick sets, they're all there. But I was given this at Saw Feast from Reese. I think it's a 710, but it's got a PM60 handle. So the handle's coming off that, and it'll go on this 60. 2 people, hello! Just revealing the next project. It's this. I looked at the handlebar, thought it was possibly a 60. They've taken the top, the black part, the black tank off, but it's got a 700 style carb with the adjustments. So this handlebar's going on the 60. That's got mint compression, so I might port that one. I've got another tank at home. The tank that this handlebar came off, we've got a bad fuel cap. I don't have any spares. and I think the fuel grommet leaks, but once it warms up, that'll sort itself out. It tends to do that. So let's, we've got two watching. I just want to hear it. Bit of a squirt there. I'll have to sit the rag. Let's see if it pulls fuel. Fast idle. I adjusted that last night because it wasn't doing anything. If it needs to be tuned, I've got to remove the carb at the moment until I could possibly tune it with these, because there's no hole in the side of the airbox to tune it, because it's a 710 carb. This saw had the correct carby on it, but a friend at Sawfeast handed me a saw. He said, "Can you get this running? It's a brand new carb. It won't." He said it's brand new Chinese carb. It won't do anything. So I got it home. A couple of weeks passed. He said he wasn't in a rush because he's studying or something and he couldn't afford to pay whatever. Had a PM700 air filter on it. I took it off and I go, "This isn't a PM700, it's a 7-10 auto." He goes, "Does that mean anything?" I said, "Well, kind of does, because it's got the incorrect carb on it." Same setup as this. They had the full needles jammed in the box. Excuse me. And it wasn't tuned right, and it wasn't Chinese. It was brand new Zema. But let's see what this one does. Had to fix the decomp last night. You push it in as soon as it backstroke, it'd suck it open. Ooh. But will it suck its own fuel? That's the next question. Needs another prime. It's not firing very much. I had to change the plug too. It had a squash washer plug in it. I had to run around. I found it's got a Bosch tapered fit plug in it now. Obviously it won't idle because there's no idle screw. That's why I love mechanics. Oh man. It's missing the valve off the muffler, but I don't really care. Mint. I gotta look at that little green dot. I keep looking at myself. I can't help it, sorry. So we got, who's number 2? They are simple saws. They're, I was going to say not so much a pain in the ass, because I've worked on worse saws, excuse me. That's sick. That carbs off that other 710 that was actually sitting out under a tree. The airbox was full of gum leaves and mud and cobwebs. The saw was locked up, the 710 that I just got that carb off last night, but that saw I actually got it unstuck and it runs, but it's very noisy. Bottom end bearings are noisy. Can't get over that. So this saw come from, we'll just call him JP's house as well. I beelined everything for all the yellow I seen. I got a 1-66 as well. Was locked up. I didn't really care. I would have got it unstuck eventually and tried to get it to run, but it was missing. It was a right hand start. 166. Big Super Pro 125 handlebars. It's the same line as those. The big full rappy dappy with the AVs and everything. Same big spuck and spike. I picked it up, chucked it in the pile with all my Max and all my 051, 075, 076 bits. Then we get to unload it, and the guy I went there with chucked a hissy fit. He said, "Oh, you don't have a saw of this. You don't have this doesn't match your collection." He goes, "Oh, I picked it up, but I wanted it. It's locked up. What are you going to do with it?" He goes, "I need the tank and the fuel tank and the handlebar or something." I was thinking it's not going to fit your saw because this is a 80cc and it's a 780 or 790 he needed it for. Anyway, so I didn't end up with it. It would have been the biggest appearing Mac I would have had. The 450 is the biggest I've got, but yeah, JP's been cutting firewood for 50 years, so this was actually, as you can see, it still has some fresh red gum sawdust all over it. We were leaking fuel from somewhere. Or is that from the previous? Maybe the tank leaks, but it's well, because it's been sitting for a while. Cork shrinks, but then when it gets wet, it swells again. I should have put oil in it. But I don't know if these are auto oilers or not. Looking in the tank, it looks to have an automatic pump in there. It's just missing the front screw, the front screw and that screw on the starter. They're on that 710 I got at home. I'll have to sort out the idle. Someone left. You're wondering, Parabax 700 black and yellow ones were auto oiler. In the 700s, I can't answer that question. Actually, my 700 auto oils, and it's all yellow with the black starter cover. It automatically oils. I don't know if they had that, like if they had an option, but I know at the bottom of the pump there's a screw or a bolt. If that's all the way in, it won't oil. You've got to screw it out a bit. Maybe take the cover off the front cover off your oil pump, your tank. Take your tank cover off. Try not to. They come off fairly easy. And there's a black, you know, like in the Mini Max, the 110s with 20s. The oil pump sticks out the front, but you don't see it. You got to take the cover off for the tanks, and you get to the pump. It's kind of like that. It's a black Bakelite with a little plunger inside, and when it pulses with the engine, so you undo the screw, and it meters how far it goes in and out. So if it's all the way in, it won't pump. Take it out 2-3 turns and it should pump. Mine pumps. I was gobsmacked as well. Can you tell I'm excited? There's fuel everywhere. Why? Maybe that's why I got parked up. It kind of coincides with all the sawdust around it. Put it down there on the ground because I want to try this Pro 1010 out again. There's still fuel in the tank. It's over fueling. Pro 1010 from JP as well, still uncleaned. The valve's missing. There's a hole in the bottom of the muff. Clutch looks brand new, OE, NOS. It's the Pro 1010. Air filter covers at home. I take those off when I'm working on saws so I can squirt fuel down in here, but we'll see if she pulls fuel. Runs, but it's spitting a lot of fuel out. It's hitting the the plate and coming back into the airbox. No matter how much you play around with the screws, it you can see it spilling out like bubble, like splashing out. So I wonder who came in earlier and left. Darcy'd be still asleep. He said to let him know. I'll let him know. I'll let everyone know half an hour before. I'm probably a little earlier than half. I've got a 1010S. It's in the shorts. I actually said 700. It's not a 700. It's a 1010S. It's after that video, it was parked up because it's too minty. You want to hear this other one without the tank fire? I'm pretty sure I fired it before. I don't know what's in the intake. All I know is it pulls over. It's a little bit noisy, but I reckon I can fix that. Yeah, so Pro 1010 needs a massive wash, and the carb looking at it's an SDC, so I'm guessing the the check valve and the fuel tank is leaking on the 60. Leaking out the join. That's weird because I don't have fuel on me. How's it going? I'm going to have a sit down on the tailgate. See if anyone else comes in and I'll restart the 60. How's it going? You get that 850 started vintage. It's probably not a good idea to sit this way. I've got to squint because it's bright. I've got to bring the 041 up here to give it a brat, but well, it won't be as much louder as the freeway's just there, 100 metres away. Should have brought another chair actually. I reckon the diaphragm is stiff. Full car, or I don't know, if you can manage to get it to suck fuel, like as you just seen. So with the 60, that carb come off a saw that wasn't much better than this. There's even dirt in the carb tray of that one, and it just fired, so it probably sucked in some stuff, so that one's definitely going to need a kit. Keep trying it. Maybe. That's up to you, really. I like to give him a fighting chance, like that Pro 1010. Only thing is, I don't think that'll sort itself out. I'll have to, I reckon, because it's an SDC carb, I'll need to check the check valve. Oh, the wire screen. Okay, yeah. I should have brought the 1010 up here. Give it another brap. Tail light's a good coffee holder. Got to go to work tonight, 10 o'clock. So when I go home, I'll start disassembling that 710 auto. Well, I think it's a 710. All the telltale signs are there. That's a 710. It's got the throttle locks there, not up here. Up here's PM700 or the 1010, Pro Mac 1010. Black choke and oil buttons. Tunable carb on the outside of the box. This one has the 2 screws I need for the starter on that one, and the ones for the 1010, because I didn't find them. .710 muffler. It actually has the valve. So the 60s had the same muffler. I wish Darcy was on. He knows heaps about Macs. Oh, a vintage. Does your 850 have a full wrap? Because Darcy, he fabricates handlebars up. He made the full wrap for my Super Pro 81. Someone cut off my 800 full wrap. My PM800, when I got it, it was cut off. So he's put that piece back there. Sadly, I can't run the chain brake side cover because he didn't allow for. He said he could fix it. I'm not really worried because the 800 needs new crank bearings. So he's made me one and fixed one, and he's going to make me one for either of these 10 series saws. I can put it on this. I don't know if he'll do it for anyone else because he only gets half an hour a day lunch break, and so one full wrap will probably take him a couple of days because he only gets half an hour. So, but he's making me one for. Well, I was going to put on my Pro Max 700, but I've only ran it one day out of the whole time I've had it, so it's a bit scary. It pulls RPMs. It's still 4 strokes. It's like it's got power band. Like you're in the timber and it just it wakes up. You can hang it by its pull cord. It just doesn't move, so I don't know, I just don't want to wreck it. Plus I don't really like running them with the chain brake side covers. Anyway, so there's that option. I suppose you could go through me if you want one. I just don't know how. He's on the McCulloch pages as well, so on Facebook. I don't know how many he's on. I'm on 2 or 3. Vintage McCulloch and McCulloch something Australia, whatever it is. You can get a hold of me that way, I suppose, or him. If you're interested, they'll be steel pipe, not aluminium, although I think he does have aluminium ones. Two sizes of pipe, so yeah, this size, which I think's 19 outside and 21 outside, so the 21's Super Pro 81, that size handlebar, or a little 50-60cc max. He even puts heat shrink around them. Not that foam stuff, but you can get that foam stuff on eBay. Double-sided tape stuff. You just put them on like a golf grip. Bit of fuel in it, shake it about, slide it on the handle, and then she dries. Excuse me. Half an hour. Oh, right, that went fast. Excuse me. So, I've got the same dilemma as Darcy now. The fuel tank leaks on the 60. Although I've got some cork paper at home, gasket roll and cork, I could probably cut it out on the machine. I just need the dimensions. Actually, I've got one here. Take that handlebar off, take a photo. If it's cork, it should swell and stop. I checked the screws last night, maybe I did it myself, tightening the screws more. Thought my brother would jump in and have a look. Don't need to see that far up. There you go, there's the saws in the boot. If only I could go live where I go cutting. I don't get service out there. Maybe that's these people that jump in and jump out. We're expecting live action cutting. If I had the option, I'd do that. There's no service out there. I was hoping there was some logs or something dumped up here. People dump rubbish here. It's disgusting. The freeway's right there. There, see that car or truck or whatever it is? Car. There's tyres dumped there. Most of them have still got tread. There's houses there, see that? Probably can't. There. And I live that way, 2 k's. Oh. So I've got to sort out this idle screw in the 60. I can see there's a rained a puddle of petrol down on me. Fuel tank leaking as well. That's a bummer. I'll have to put you back where you were. Somewhere here. There. Maybe I'll bring it closer. So when a chat disappears, I can touch it. There we go, look at that. That'll do. That's a bummer when the tank leaks, I can tell you that. I've sealed one up, a PM700. The first one, I don't know if you've watched the video, but the one I put the 610 coil on and made it coming out, oh, it's too rich. Too rich. Wind the screws all the way in. Don't crank them. Just easiest way I can explain it is use a tuning screwdriver, because you don't get much leverage. Wind them in till they seat. If you've got a steel one, that'd be handy because you've got references. Wind them all the way in. Then back out and 1 1/4 turns. Both screws. That's what the 60 is at now, 1 1/4 each. That's good on the low, but the high needs to be adjusted. But I've got to cut the tuning screws down and re-slot them so I can tune them at least. So it's a 60C, well I think 60, with a 70cc carb on it, bigger carb, bigger Venturi. But yeah, wind them in, actually wind them all the way in and pull it over till it fires and burns all the fuel off and stops, and then wind the screws out 1 1/4. See if it'll start, run and idle. We'll start and run. Adjust your idle. So if you're looking in the air box, back the idle screw off until it doesn't. You see the butterfly doesn't move, and then wind it in until you just see it move, and then try that. If it still floods, then your metering lever's too high. Let's have a look at some effects here. Dream. Oh yeah, no filter. That's better. Beam. Yeah, that'll do. How do I get rid of the bloody thing now? There we go. need to sort out another phone or iPad so I can leave it sitting here with the chat, because it disappears off the screen. I'm not going to give up on the Pro 1010. Three-quarter revs. Where are the screws set? 1 1/4 on each. Three-quarter revs. Impulse hose might be split. 1 1/4. Yeah, that's a tough one. 3/4 revs. Kind of like this. This one. The Pro 1010. Doesn't want to rev properly. Spitting back fuel. It's getting too much fuel. Maybe go, oh, I know my 850's pretty good. 3/4 revs. Points might be dirty. Is it points or electronic? Should be electronic. Just got a whiff of fuel. Where'd the bloody chat go? It stalls. Back it off. Stalls. Does it sound like it's getting too much fuel or not enough fuel? How long has it been sitting? Oh, I forget, sorry. Because sometimes, like, is it really smoky or not smoky? I know sometimes when they sit for a while, you got to give them like two to 2.5 turns out on the low, so it cleans out the varnish in the carb. The 041 was like that, the one I did the other day. Was like that, but okay, so if you can get it going in your right hand, or somehow control the throttle with one of your hands, well, it's got to be your right because you need the left to tune it. Well, if you get it running, richen up the low, see if it cleans up, because there might be varnish in the carb, but you've had the carb off, I think, and apart, so metering lead. I wish you could do photos on here, it'd be a whole lot easier. It up low. Maybe it wants more fuel both high and low until it softens everything and cleans it all out. say, it's hard because I'm not there. I don't see it. Like I'm not hearing it. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing how it's reacting. I know with saws that have been sitting for a while, you got to richen the screws. Like I think I've had a saw that I've had 3 turns out. Yeah, it was a Pro Mac 310, 15 or whatever it is, 320. Sounds like ignition problem. What? Make sure it's got a tapered fit plug, CJ8J, or that doesn't even have the right plug in it. CJ8J is the champion. Bosch is A0s. I forget now. It's got to have like they had in the old Ryobi whippersnippers. CJ8J. Make sure it's got a tapered plug. Almost sounds like the points need cleaning. Jesus, it's like I said, it's hard. It's hard doing it like this. If only in my Facebook group, I used to do a video chat every Friday, Saturday night. 3 people can come in. Was never anyone working on saws. It was like mates, workmates and stuff, but I could show them what I was doing. You can go live together. I don't know how to do that. But it almost sounds like so. Is it all clean, the saw, the coil and stuff? Maybe the coil gap's different. Like as I say, I don't know. It's not my saw. I can only give suggestions. I can't see it. I should have brought the Super Pro 81 up here. I needed to see if I can get it running again. Got to put a new cord in it. Snapped the other weekend while I was trying to start it. Dusty's going to have to watch back. He's still asleep. Starter screws. Or, well, you said you can't get to the coil, so we'll say they put Loctite on the screws on the starter, so you're going to have to, if you've got an impact screwdriver or blowtorch on the heads. Blowtorch, oh well, yeah, I wouldn't do that either. Maybe just a cheap flat head, you know, the orange and black, the coloured, ones, and just give it a hit. And you can also put a shifter on the handle or a spanner, like a cheap dinky die Stanley, or well, Stanley's not cheap anymore. The plastic handle screwdrivers with the thing is you can put a ring spanner over the top of it, or a shifter, hold pressure and turn. I had to do that on Super Pro 81 or the 1010. No, I've never had the starter off the 1010. Super Priority 1. I take it you're doing this while watching. I've done that before. I think I was watching Donnie Walker or Tin Man, I can't remember now, but I was in the old house in the man cave. I think I was working on something, and then popped up live. He was working on the same saw. I was like, sweet, watch it. Oh, way. You get cracking soon. Get the tank and everything off this 710 so I can time it. Bellhopper revealed some numbers this morning. That was interesting. I was like, well, I'll have to try that. Ported a PM700 the other day, apparently. I'll have to watch that video too. Haven't been watching. Only Kev. Did you watch this back, Kev? I rang Longo the other day. He didn't answer the phone. I left a message, but he hasn't rang me back, so I'm after a couple of bars and chains to do some testing. How'd you go? You get the screws undone? Hope Darcy pops in before I switch it off. Even with a hammer. What about, well, scratch spark plug spanner with a flathead on the other end of it? Or socket attachment for the bits. I know the bits are pretty soft, I suppose. It's only firing. Yeah, it's got to be points. Like the spark's not strong enough. The spark plug might be no good. Maybe take the plug out, see how bright the spark is. If it's not blue, well, if it's a point saw, it'll be blue. If it's not, if it's electronic, it'll be orange spark. Point source, yeah. Like these things, spark, massive spark. The width of the electrode, or whatever you call it. She's got orange spark. Yeah, Jesus. What, 850's points. Hey, who we got down? Darcy, you awake? Just talking to Vintage. I don't know who's popped in, but he's having problems with his PM850. It's got orange spark. I don't know if 850s are points or electronic. I haven't had the flywheel off my 850. I've got two 850s. That one on the shelf still. It's got the big valve muffler, no side cover. My 850 has a full black chain brake side cover. I've seen 850s with the small one that finishes before the muffler. I'll have to see if that other one's points or electronic. Yeah, we've got 3 people. What's going on? I started the saw. It runs. I'll start it again shortly. I'm just conversing with Vintage. He's having problems with his 850, Pro Mac 850. You can't even get the starter off it, can you? Because I was going to say, if there's a wire coming to the bottom of the coil, that's points. But if it's the coil and just the kill switch, it's electronic. Someone's left. I'm about to start these saws again, but no one's saying anything, only Vintage. I'm up near the freeway, if whoever's the second person is watching, away from the kids and stuff. Noise. Start them up. I'll put the tripod back in the boot because that's where it was when I started. If you see any blackheads, don't tell me. I do see a steel wire coming from behind the starter covering, running to the... Oh, that's an earth. That's the earth strap. Das. Vintage is having trouble with his 850 orange spark. He said it only wants to run like half throttle. Spark's orange. I think they're point saws. I don't know about the 850s. I suppose if the 800s, the 800s are electronic, aren't they? The wire screen in the carb is eaten away, from what I gather, I remember. So, just quickly, I want to show you the Pro 1010 runs. But it's spitting back fuel out the carb. Yeah. Every time I start it, it gets better and better. Has Vintage said anything yet since? Start them up. Like a braided wire, that's earth strap. It goes to the front AV. Wait, 850s. I think they got a AV mount in the centre of the bottom of the engine, or was that the 81s? I don't know, but here we go. She's got fuel tank leaks. Or I think it might be coming out of the bolt hole. Now it's got the air filter and the 710 auto carb in it. Who's number 3? Say hello. Yeah. So excited. The tank was leaking before. It's still seeping. I just don't know where from. I probably did it last night because I checked the tension on the screws. But the fuel cap's cracked. It's out of that part saw, but I think it's leaking from the thread in the bolt now. That's exactly where it's leaking. The rest of this gasket's swollen back up now, so I'm missing. There's a second wire behind that. Points. Condenser, that sounds like. Orange spark. You can't get the starter off. The bolts are bastards. Pull the cord. I need another bloody device. Have a suss and help more on Facebook. That's why I said this is crap. We need to. I can't do much without photos or being there. Sounds mint. Yes. I just took that bolt out of. Since you haven't been here, I've already explained it to Vintage. The next project I'm going to start working on when I get home, because I start at 10 o'clock tonight. So remember that Mac I got from Reese at Sawfeast without the top half of the fuel tank? Well, it's got the correct handlebar for that 60. I just took the bolt before I left home and put it in that one. So why is the top part of the tank missing? I was thinking it might have been black, judging by the handlebar. But the carb, it's another 710A. Since you're watching, I'll do it again. Give it another shot of fuel. Don't know the story behind it. It's got mud and stuff in the... on Facebook. Is that your name, Vintage, on Facebook? Since you're watching, Das. Oh, number 3 is missing again. They come in, they don't say anything. I don't know. Numbers on the cylinder for this saw, A11 1844. It's an A cylinder. It's got a rim on it, brand new, unused. It's even got the spacer shim for the seal. I was in Bellhoppers live before I come, well, up until I come up here, because I'm a moderator on Bellhoppers channel. Someone said something about a PM700. He wanted to port it or something. He gave him numbers. Only intake, nothing on the exhaust. He said you only got to take the material off the intake on the skirt. You don't even have to touch the cylinder, he said. Because I was talking to Vintage before, I haven't caught up on anyone else's channel, only Kev's. because Kev comes here. You just want to show appreciation and be polite. Kev comes here, I'll go to watch his, if you know what I mean. I haven't caught up on anyone else's channels. So that's the next. That one I'll grind on. I pulled that tank out in that box that you said, A11. Yeah. Take it to 73, 74, he said, intake. He didn't say anything about transfers, exhaust. So they must be all right, exhaust wise. They just need more intake. So, yeah, I got the tank. I'll turn this back around actually, because now I've done that. Pulled out the tank from that box you gave. Something's wrong with it, I think. Oh, the high idle trigger. The trigger lock is on top, not the side. So I was thinking about putting it on this one, but the so Darcy's name on Facebook is the same. Mine is Brendo Man /Tate on Facebook. Or unless you want to reveal your name, that your Facebook account is, and we'll just add you to it. Add you, or Darcy could do it, or whatever. Oh, everyone's gone. Or I've dropped out of service. I must have dropped out. Did I drop out? You know what? I'll just put you back in there. I'll just stand up. It's got to be a... Don't even walk over. Oh, hang on. Well, you must be talking to... Yeah. I've got to get me a better bloody tripod. Always said they were pretty good and don't need much hole in that box on that. Put that whole tank. Well, it's got the PM700 throttle lock. I've got that saw that excuse me. The saw that I put the handlebar on the 60 on, it's complete and holds fuel, so it'll go on that. It's a 710 as well. Only that one that, you know, that one I sent the photo last night, it was sitting up like that and you circled the starter. That's the carb in the 60 off that 710. It's still dripping out the bolt hole. Why would it be dripping out the bolt hole when it's supposed to be cast into the... All good. So it's still dripping out the bolt, unless it's leaking from this. It's dripping down here, look. if I tip the fuel this way, it doesn't do anything. It's seeping, but once the cork softens up, it should go. I'm going to leave the fuel in the tank anyway. I did notice there was a muffler in there, in that box with the valve. The valve's missing. That's, I reckon that bloody, you know that repainted 710? I'm thinking now, is it a 60? Only because I can see what's in behind that, where that valve is supposed to be. It's got that honeycomb thing the right way, unless they're 7. I think you said that 60s run the 710 mufflers anyway, so I've got another one at home I can use off that other one on that 60. But I don't really want to pull it apart now it runs. Only thing I'll have to do, so you're telling me I just cracked it? Can't have. I just took the bolt out of this tank. Haven't cracked it. Yeah, oh, that's right. I need to sort out an idle screw for that, unless I tweak the throttle linkage. That might be the smartest idea, I suppose. But there is a casting inside there where you could drill and tap it and put an idle screw in there. Or I need to find another bloody carb. PM60 carb. Here we got. Want to see the PM60 fire up? She's leaking fuel out the bolt hole for the handle. They go away. Far out. The longer I'm up here, the less time I've got to do to port this other one. That other one on the floor at home too, Das, the 710, I'll have to use 2 screws out of the starter for the 1010. I need another bloody bolt for the front. Bore size on 40, what's 47 mil? Yeah, what's the stroke? Because an MS310's 47 mil. Is it 310? No, 46 mil MS310. MS390 or 039 is 47 mil, and they're 61 cc. So it'd have to be I drilled the hole. Yeah, no, this is stock. Means I'll have to dry it out and put a bit of JB weld on the end of the bolt maybe. Oh no. The camera screen's broken. I wonder how that happened. not to worry. Well, obviously I'll measure the bore on that one because I'm gonna be pulling it apart to time it first, and then mark the piston with a marker before I pull the crank out. Should be PM stroke. They are all 35. Explains why they rev to the moon. So I might have to go watch this PM700 video of Bellhopper. I don't know if he made a cut or anything with it, but he's given me the intake, well, everyone that watched his live this morning, the intake number. He didn't say anything about grinding on the exhaust or doing any transfer work, just give it intake. I suppose more intake will give it more RPMs anyway. Don't really know. But yeah, now the 60 runs, she needs a bath. .38 mil stroke. So what's that? 3 mil longer. That'd be alright if you had a bloody like 4 mil squish. You could put a, well, I don't know if a millimetre would be enough clearance. What's a millimetre in thou? 20? Chuck a 38, chuck an 800 bloody crank in one of these little things. Geez, the flies are getting bad up here. I was hoping there was going to be a log or something here to cut, but I didn't bring a saw with a bar and chain on it. Probably see the rubbish behind me. People dump rubbish up here. This is where we walked to that night, Darcy. The asphalt, see that power pole? The asphalt stops just there. And then it's dirt with like a U-turn bay. The freeway's just behind me. We walked here, it's 1,500 or 2 Ks just to here and back the other night. That night I said I was going for a walk. Yeah, I want to use $40 thou. So a 20 thou gasket's half a mil. So I got the right stuff then. PM700 exhaust ports. I think they're kind of like the 610s. I'm not going to copy Bellhopper. I don't want to. I probably won't upset him, but now knowing he's here watching, he was going to comment. He said in his live the other day, like just before, he said he's seen the video, he was going to comment, but he got a phone call or something and got sidetracked. So I want to, because I didn't copy you with the 610 either. I just did what I thought would work. It works. It worked better with the Super Pro 81 carb back on it, but that's another thing I want to try and do, is get that low screw out. I think I could still get it. I might have to use a center punch and try and come in from the angle and start it to drill it, and then once I put the drill level, it might start undoing the screw, I'm hoping. So I think I've missed some comments. I've got the screws either on this or the other 710 for the starter on the 1010. I'll Loctite the bastards in. I want to clean it up first. 2 Vintage added me on Facebook. Sweet. If Vintage is still here, I got it to start and took a video. Sick. Is Vintage still here, or we got someone else? I might start that 60 up again. Try and get all the old oil and stuff out of it still. I can't tune it, I've got to cut the screws down. It's a 710 carb. Would rather set it now and not have to do it anymore. Like, I don't want to drill a hole in the side of the fuel tank or anything. I don't want to put a different top on it. I'd rather leave it bare metal. Looks sick. She's well used. It's had the cork changed at some stage in its life on the tank. When I let my finger go, I'll have to try and wonder if I can tweak the front linkage to hold the butterfly open a little bit. See, this is off my 1010S. Is it the S? The minty one. That's why it was on the minty one, because the minty one doesn't get run, but there's flock missing. So I've got to tweak. I've just got to put a little bit more of a bend in the bottom there, I think. Not enough. Not getting enough bend out of it. I might pop it out of the bloody still not. Might pop it out of the trigger, I don't know what I'm. Oh, that's okay, that's supposed to be there. Been a pain. I'll use the high idle trigger. Now it doesn't want to go, it's flooded. busted it right now. You know what, I just wait for the sound to come back. You know what I just noticed? There's green paint on the engine cover underneath. Why would that be? There wasn't a pool. It wasn't a pool in the same design, was there? Green paint. Luckily, I've got a minty engine cover for it. A lot more paint on it than that. There's green under that yellow. Or was that the undercoat back in the day? My 700 runs upside down just like that does. Far out. Here's again. Here's here. Number 3. Say hello, please. Say hello. I've got another saw to start up. I want to give it a fighting chance. What else did Lily say? Keep trying vintage. I reckon that this varnish in the carb, if it's idling, yeah. $10 to 15 years, he said it's been since it's running, since it's ran. He said the little screen inside the carb, it was rotting away, so, well, rusting, it's probably rusting away, actually. Number 3, PM60, I just had it run. I'm not sure if you popped in when it was still running or not. It won't idle. I've just used the trigger lock as an idle because it's got a 710, 710 carb. Denim. Took the carb apart and cleaned it, but still being a pain. You get that with Max, some Max and some other saws. The 041 was being a pain in mine until I realised, well, it can't be carb related because the screws weren't doing anything. It's got an air leak. I did seals. The only thing else was to re-glue the cylinder down and aviation seal both sides of the intake gaskets. There's There's 5 gaskets on the 041s on the intake. So the new person that's watching, it's probably Kieran. The next project, it's a 710 auto, I believe, until I take the cylinder off and have a look. Actually, what's the numbers on this one? Oh, A11144, that's right, yeah. Does fire off, it's got good compression. Well, good enough. It's been dry for I don't know how long. It's been sitting out and it's got dirt and stuff. Yeah. I thought maybe the intake impulse hose might have turned to glue. You can still see it if the side cover's off it. See it, and I mean, they do get soft. They got clamps, like a wire spring around them, I think. Maybe because that one on the 81 was split. Maybe it's not pumping, so there might be a bit of it ran and oiled for a second. Yeah. Maybe keep trying. Hopefully the intake boot's not split. But if it was kept clean, it might be okay. Not well. In saying that, like, have a look at my saws. They're filthy because they're still as how I got them from Mr. JP. But every saw from JP, except for the 81, are mint or minty. The 60 is mint, as you've just seen. It runs every direction, doesn't idle up or anything, and it starts beautifully. Oh, that's right. Forgot the throttle lock. Does your 60 have a red kill switch, Darcy? This one's got a red kill switch. I kind of want to make it black. Well, this was said to have low compression because I thought it did. The more I run it, the longer it takes to go down. That's pretty good. It's hurt my arm holding it up too. My 700 doesn't move. Weird. That's the first green paint I've ever seen on a metallic. John Deere didn't buy a metallic out and rebadge it like they did with the Echoes, or was that just all Echo saws? Because I've got my 750 EVL has yellow paint under the black on the well, it's not an air filter cover, but the top plate where the badge is, it's got yellow where the black's worn away on the corners and stuff. There's yellow paint under there because John Deere bought some Echoes 750s and rebadged them and repainted them. But I've never seen yellow on a green on a metallic. try the Pro in a minute. Again, 1010. Push button throttle lock on the side. Not the push in button, not the throttle lock out style. On the side, the silver button, that's what this one's got. It's actually black on this one, but it's got a red kill switch. No biggie, but if it's not correct, I'd like to make it correct, because there's a black kill switch on that fuel tank right there. Well, on the half tank, 710. Well, as I say, that's here comes Kieran.
How's it going? Come down and do burning.
What's the tape doing with that?
Look, use that. Yeah. Like, fuck.
Black and Decker.
You get coffee when you come back?
Yeah, okay. Nearly finished.
That's still on. Say bye. Hooroo!
Hooroo!
Hippity hop. Bye.
See ya. That's the early style. Later style is the lockout. Yeah, like the 700. Holds it wide open, basically. It's the operator presence one. Black and Decker were orange and black, or red and black, I think. I had a Lockbuster, which is the Super 2 home light, Black and Decker home light. That went to Tassie. Hey, question vintage, do you know Terry Smythe? Or are you Terry Smythe? Excuse me. So number 3 still hasn't revealed himself. Hello. Possibly you have. I've missed. I need another device so I can read the comments. Darcy also told Vintage, because it's sat for so long, some saws want to be at least, I don't know, Terry, okay. Home light collector, he lives on a farm somewhere, I forget the suburb, not Burnie, somewhere near Burnie, I think. Yeah, some saws require up to 3 turns out until they start cleaning themselves out and then go in from there, but I got him to start at 1 1/4 out on both. Yeah, only thing you can really do is keep trying it, but if you can see if the impulse is all right, impulse hose under the tank goes from the base of the cylinder up the top and wraps around into the handle. that could be bad. Split. It's another long life, but I'm having fun. Sick. Try the 1010 again. Pro. It's getting better. Come over here. It's getting better. It still struggles to rev up, but I'm gonna persevere with it. I don't know if it'll cut wood at the moment because of how it revs. But up until right now, it was little drops of fuel were coming out. It's kind of hard to show you, and it's loud. It's missing the valve, but I've got a couple of muffs, brand new NOS in the bags still. Brand new mufflers with the screw-on louvers, fish gill louvers. So I've got the other 1010s, the Torture Test 1010, the Minty. Oh, I love that saw. It's still okay. So I've got my Minty 1010. It's worse than that muffler right there, and it needs a new one. But I'm probably never going to run that saw anyway, so I'd rather run the ones that are missing paint. Shall I just do it? Yeah. Oh, speaking of saws and Tassie, you should see all the ones I've missed out on. Bloody P52s, and there's another bloke that has Jack Marshall. Well, that's his. That would be Terry Smythe. He sold a whole heap off. He had a big blue Super XL Auto limited edition blue, minty. I'm talking darker blue than that, mint. I actually went and picked that saw up here locally in Melbourne for him. Pulled it down, give it a wash. We've got someone else in. Hello. I'm just having fun. You're kidding, what? What did I miss? Oh. Nice. P series. I've got a Pioneer 650. Yeah, minty, old blue, not an old blue, a big blue, Super XL Auto, limited edition. Pulled it down, give it a wash. Tuned it up, put it in a box and posted it to him. And he offered it back to me, but I didn't have the money. I just want a P40, I think it's a P40, to put a 372 top end on it, like playing with wood. P62, is it? The biggest one? I wouldn't mind a Poolin Pro 455, which is a P51, I think, or the next biggest. P50 something. Just because I like the like the egg colour, yellow over the grey. Yellow, grey. Jesus. P61, yes. High performance. Oodles of pull, yeah. I watched Tin Man with his. He had the fixed ignition, I think. The Paul & Pro 455 would be my pick. Hooroo. Yeah, won't forget your coffee. I've still got half a bloody cup here. Pain in the arse. Need bigger struts. She was just here. Vintage must have dropped out. Oh. What did I need a flat blade for before? Oh, that's right. Vintage. I've got a flat blade here, but you can't hit it with a hammer. Darcy's gone then. You love that pain. Oh, yeah. Hey, one of these camera lenses is broken. Must have happened in the back of the car or on the house. I don't know. Lovely. P series. I only afforded to try this 372 cylinder on it, like playing with wood has. You got to make a spacer, so basically you cut the base of another cylinder off and space it out, and then it's piston ported, not reed fed. That's all I really wanted one for, but that's copying, so I don't really want to. Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with my 650. Something's going on, the same comment keeps popping up. Is that the time? Jesus. I reckon my internet's playing up here then. Bloody flies. Something's going on here. Here we go. So, yeah. Next project's right there in the boot. I've still got to do this bloody bottom end for Reese, which won't take long because he's supplied the base gasket that's sitting there. It's only the case gasket that's going to take forever to sort out. Bearings and seals, I've got to measure those. Measure the seal, I reckon they might be the... Hey Vintage, you might know, 999F. Have you got one? Have you ever done the bottom end? Or do you have like a workshop manual for the seal size or part number. That one you sent me, I don't, does it have 620 on the top cover? Actually, someone sent me a whole heap of PDFs the other day. There might be 999F in there. I'll have to have a look. There's actually a 999F concrete saw for sale, fairly cheap too, and it runs, and it actually has an oil cap. So maybe the oil tank's ready to go, just need an oil pump, and you can convert it to a saw. Edward had one not long ago, but it didn't have the oil tank. It wasn't part of it. It was just, there was not even a cap. It was just non-existent, but there would have been an empty tank in the cases. But this one actually has, like, it was possibly made to be converted, like a 08S, 08. There's not enough photos of the 999F to even see if it'd have an oil tank in it. Like pump gallery, like the machined out for a pump. Because that 410 concrete saw I've got actually has the oil pump on it. You just got to swap over the, put a sprocket on it for a chain, and yeah, you can run it. Okay, that's the, yeah, that's the top cover mine was supposed to have, but it come with the 650 green top cover with the tree, nothing else written in it. The tree's supposed to be painted yellow, I think, but it's all green, the whole top cover, and the handlebar is off the I think the next one up, what's the next one up from 650? It had a brown top cover. Maybe the 650 has a brown top cover, and the brown grip on the handlebar. So mine come with the green top cover and the brown grip on the handlebar. It's a bitzer. But what would, oh yeah, the 999F. I've got to do that for Reese. Once I find my crankcase splitter. He's paying for the seals and the bearings. Me and Kieran have just got to make the base, this case gasket and base gasket. Then that can go back in his Dalmar 132 or 143, whatever it is, 130, 123, no, 132 I think it is, 134. The one with the races on the crank steel and inside the cases, you could send them to someone else. I don't feel comfortable doing it. If it was my saw, I would have done it already, but it's not mine, so. Bloody flies. Give these saws another crack in a minute, and then might have to cut it there. Should have brought some more to play with up here. I was going to bring no 4-1, but there's no timber. I thought there'd be at least some logs or something. Piffed up here somewhere, but no. There's plenty of box thorns, but there's no yellow box trees here. Yeah, the friggin' thing's starting to leak again now. I'll have to sort that out. Drain the tank out, air it out. 600 is yellow with a big tree, yes. And a different muffler, the 600. 620. Can't remember what you just said. Hang on a minute. I'm having to sit down again. I'll have to get me a decent heavy duty tripod one day. Just having to sit down with all these flies. Yellow and has 620 in the small tree, and I thought it was supposed to be brown cover like the 750. Yes, possibly. Would have been brown cover, yellow tree, 650 top or bottom. 620 was green. That's the only top cover I've got, which is on mine now. That come on the 6. No, sorry. I've got 2 green top covers. That's why I thought, why do these other people have yellow top covers with green trees on them? Doesn't bother me as long as what the badge says. I've got one 620 and one 650. The 620's got bits missing, but new bearings and seals in the cases. So, and the 620. They use the same seals both sides as the 038 Magnum clutch side seal. There's some info for you. Exactly the same seal. After I went and spent, I don't know, $8 each or something at the bearing shop to get seals, and then I crushed one because they were the rubber, full rubber, inside outside, so you just push them in, but I bent it, so I thought it was still leaking, and I thought, oh, I'm not going to go spend whatever it was for another seal, only to possibly damage it again. And I pulled down I had the seal out, pulled out all my seals. Oh, that's the same, looks the same as the 038 Magnum. I took it out of the packet, sat it there, tap, 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 in it went. I was like, oh, that's mint. PM270 Canadians, they are roughly the same, I think. That's another thing I've got to work on. So I'd like to take a cut and properly. I haven't ran mine properly. Canadian 270. Just got I think I broke the bend on the starter spring, so I've got to take it all out again, re-bend it, re-tension it. I might even have another one there that's all right. I've got a couple of starters there. One's white, it's a Mobilco 370. I'd like to. I've got one there to build. It's locked up. It's got corrosion all in it, so I've got to try and sandblast it out or something. And I'd like to build it, like put it together and paint it and sit on the shelf, red and white. My 170 needs a muffler and seals. I had a muffler lined up. Darcy knows where I'm going with this. Yep, next time you're here, you can get it. Haven't been there. It's like my 084 top end. Another Ambo. They're not even on the freeway. Where are they going? To the marsh, the fast way. What's going on? Everyone's stopped talking. Maybe you are and I'm not seeing it. Yes. The 750. Is that the same design or is it the... No, it might be a 4... What is it? I think the 750's got the fuel bowl that way, not that way in the tank. 750. Is it the 750? Or was there a model like 4 numbers? Because Buck and Billy Ray had one. Might have been a IEL Pioneer. The big bastard. Was it an IEL? I thought it was a 750 with the fuel bowl. So it's got like a long flat top cover and it sort of comes to the rear handle. It's got the carb and then the fuel bowl's up. It's the same style starter and muffler. I can't remember. Gotta get another coffee before 2 o'clock, so. And one dart left, there's a 750, it's different design, heaps bigger, and yeah. Should be like black and yellow or green. And it's got like the tree, but it's in sort of like silver. I think that's it. They're 100 and... forget they're just a little bit smaller than a 090 in CC wise, I think. 121 or 119 or 18, some chip flap, yes. That'll be the one, like full rappy dappy handle. Maybe not being Australian, it's probably a half wrap. Correction, we had the full wraps, I think, for those, and Wales, so Stride Bad Rob, he's got a 650, but they only got half wraps. I thought that looks weird. Why does it look different? It's only got a half wrap handle, so it comes around like that and then like that and bolts down, but they've squashed the end of it so they can use the flathead screws. Flathead 3/16 screws. Friggin' flies. We've got 3. There's a Kieran still. Without full wrap. Stride Bad. Vintage. If you type in on YouTube, well, on here obviously, Pioneer 650. It's STRIDE BAAD, Stride Bad. His name's Rob, he's in Wales. Okay. He's in Wales. He's got long hair, Pommy accent. I've followed him for probably 5 years, easy. And he so he gets an array. He knows a lot about saws. He gets an array of vintage saws out around the same era, same CCs, and he'll do a comparison day, max cut with it or whatever. He's sold a couple of them, but he's got 620 and 650s with half wrap handles. He knows a lot of the theory behind the saws, like he knows the strokes. Like we just start the camera and he starts like, this is the bore size, the rings are this size by this size, and it's like, oh Jesus, I didn't even know any of that. Yeah, so he knows a lot. He's got a massive collection as well. Dan-arm tornadoes. He had a Dan-arm is it an S71 or something? Dan-arm silver and blue saw. It's weird, isn't it? We've got the Pioneers 600s and 650s and that with full wraps here, but then overseas they don't get them, and then here we don't get the full wrap max, but over there they always got them, and they're like, what? I've never seen one without a full wrap. What do they look like? Send me a photo. Like Brian Gray and Bellhopper, I had to send them some photos because I'd never seen them without full wraps. I was like, well, that's a standard here. He goes, well, and they go, yeah, but full wraps are standard here. Different. And then you got like this 044 Arctics. I've only seen one or two here, but there's heaps of them over there. It's weird. Just had a thought. Maybe did the volume just go up? I didn't fire that other bloody 710 up, did I? I have. I've got one that hasn't been put on a saw for I don't know how long. A full wrap. It's an 850 rear handle. That's an 850. So it's the full wrap with the bottom plate sitting there waiting to go on a saw. I've told Vintage that before. Now, because I said we could probably go through me, but now he's sent us whatever it is on Facebook or whatnot. He's going to sort that out. I'll have to do a live or something with one of the wraps, maybe. Well, it's the 800 and the 850. That's all the ones I've got in it. Two from you. Well, 1.5 because you fixed my 800. Oh, sick. Forgot what we were talking about then. Yeah, my volume wasn't all the way up on my phone. So that one you're still making me, the full wrap. I'm up in arms on which one I want to put it on now. Maybe the 1010 or the 60. I won't know. I'll have to do another comparison video. I think the 60 and maybe the stock 041 Farm Boss 24-inch torture test. Not really torture for a 041 though. Probably won't be for the 60 either. Yeah, not really torture test now, is it? 28 might be. That'd be interesting. 28-inch on the 041. Maybe the ported one. I almost threw the saws in the car and went there this morning, but being the weekend and what the weather's like today, there's probably going to be motorbikes out there and they'll probably dob me in, but they didn't even look at me when I was out there before. The last day I had 3 skill saws. Is that skill saws? Not far off 090. They got more torque. Skill saw. I've got the 1629 Type 3. 1629 Type 3, the yellow one. It's only 47cc. Not the no, the PM. Oh, the PM. I forget the model number. It's a bigger appearing saw than the 270, but it's 100 and something cc. 120. Yeah, I forget the model. PM. Forget the model. There was one for sale, but it got snapped up pretty fast because they're very rare. Well, here. But yeah, I almost chucked the 041 Farm Boss, not the Farm Boss, the ported, in the boot and went out the forest today. But being Sunday, motorbikes probably because it's not sunny. I had last session I was out, I had 8, so four times two riders had come past. The first 3 times I just went past, I was busy, and then I was talking, and I think I was talking, or I just put a saw down, I can't remember now, but they come up and they were sort of looking and I just waved them through. They just come through and I went to wave, but they just took off. So I doubt they'll say anything really, but you don't really know, because yeah, I doubt they would, because they were probably out there. Shouldn't dob you in, half of them. I was just about to say that. probably the unregistered. I can't remember now. I reckon about 6 of them had number plates, but 2 of them wouldn't have. It was fairly deep in the forest too, so. And it was a 4-wheel drive track, so yeah, I don't know. These flies are getting bad. Who jumped in? You want to see the saw? The 60? I wouldn't mind. I'll crack it up again. I don't care. Almost want to start that 1010 again. The Pro 1010. I think it's a Pro. Super 1010. Can't remember because the air filter cover's not on it. Got it off to give it a squirt of fuel, but now she starts on her own. What size tyres are on the Commodore? 16s, 15s? These are probably 20s. There's a pile of tyres here. Should have a look. Spares for the Captiva. I need 20s for the can't see the size on the back one. 275/40s. Spark arresters. Well, that one's got camber wear. What size are the ones on your trailer? 14s. There's a couple of 14s here. Just dumped. There's a 15 there. What's that one? High-low. It's got heaps of tread on it. Why'd they throw that out? Someone with a flash BMW can tell you that much. 275/30/20s ZR. Oh yeah, camber wear on the inside. Maybe a Hemi, BMW. A Jeep, that Hemi, yeah, Jeep. Eco Sports. 245/40/19. Run flats. That's got heaps of tread on it. I don't know why they were dumped. Thirteens. HQ or HT? Maybe HT. Hubs. HT were earlier again, different. I think HT. I think I gave you all my decent. Oh, excuse me. Rims and tyres. Did I drop out? I'll have to go shortly. Force myself back to sleep. shower and no, I was thinking the Jeeps, you know, the new Jeeps with the Hemis, the fucking asses are like that when they drop them down, and the BMW X5s, you always see the asses, the rear tyres are all fucking cambered. You got all these imports that are driving around in flash cars, and we got buckets of shit, you know what I'm talking about. Well, they're always camber they're the ones that seem to dump all the time. But those last two I showed you, they're heaps of tread. Maybe they went flat and they just drove on them and stuffed the sidewalls, I don't know. Far out. We'll have to end it shortly. Got one Dari left. My coffee's cold. Kieran wants another one. I don't know if I can drink another one before I go to bed. Probably won't sleep. I'll just add to the rubbish. I will pick that up before I leave. HT. Ugh. HT. Don't have HT rims. Suppose you can upgrade them to new hubs for what are they, 60, 80 bucks each, super cheap. New hubs, or find a trailer on the side of the road that's been left there and take that axle off it or whatever. Hubs. If it's left on the side of the road, it's usually missing a hub. I had 3 people before. Where'd everyone go? Start these saws up again in a minute and that'll be it. We'll have to finish it. It's over 2 hours now. It'll take forever to be made available to view. They're kept private, but I make them public so people can watch them just in case, you know. If they want to pop into another live, I even thought about driving the ute up here and doing a tailgate sessions. Still saws in the back that I've got to sort out. The starter on the 81, I was going to bring the 81 up here and try it out, but I just didn't have, I left home too early before I fixed the pull rope and bring it up here, give it a start and see if it, find out why it's not doing well, starting and stuff. It's just coughs. Try the 1010 again. There, we've got 2 back. Sick. more fuel through it. Maybe not. I reckon it's going to need a carb kit. Wait for the sound to come back. I don't know if you saw it, but it splashes back out there. It's a nice saw. It'll clean up pretty good when I eventually wash it. I don't know if it's a spark issue or what, but like I just got the saw, squirted some fuel in there, and it started sucking its own fuel. I left it sit there idle until it died, riching up. It wasn't riching it up, it was getting too much fuel. But it's no skin off my nose really, because I got, like I was saying at the start of the maybe is it because the muffler's too open, there's no valve? I don't know. I don't need to check. I don't need to pull the shroud off and check, take the muffler off and check this piston. It's every time I run it, the compression's coming up. Maybe the rings were stuck originally. Das, if you're still watching this, can you see the seal around in the air box there? You know what that is? That's that black Sikaflex. I reckon JP back in the day, I didn't realise the camera was so far away. It had the same thing around the air filter seal, black Sikaflex. I just grabbed it and it all peeled off. Because the saws came from JP. I don't know if they were like, if you look at the 60, it's covered in red gum sawdust. That's what he cuts, or what he used to cut up in New South. But I reckon JP's been in there. That's the second saw that's got black Sikaflex on it. That tank's sealed up. What type? I don't know. me. The chat keeps disappearing. I'll have to get another device next time. Yeah, that's over fueling. I just wound the low screw all the way in. It did die, but then once I backed it out, it started running again. The high screw's like half a turn out. It's far too rich. I don't know if maybe the points need cleaning. I haven't done nothing with the saw. I haven't taken the starter off. That's what I'm talking about now. I don't know what number Sikaflex it'd be, whether it's for the firewall, the shit they put on the plastic in your door trim so you can remove it and put it back on. I don't know if it'll be that stuff. That's actually, it's still soft, but you can't break it or anything. Yeah, I don't know what type you'd use. Maybe the stuff for firewall. Which isn't, I've got 227 at home, but it stays flexible. That's for your door trims and like what they put behind certain stuff. You can remove it, reapply. It's expensive though, I don't know, but it's probably the same price as the Moto Seal. You're probably better off going with that. I've got cork at home. I'll have to get once this handle comes off, get a photo of where I didn't put my durry out properly, it's starting to burn the bloody grass. Once I get this handle off and the far out flies, get a photo of this and measurements, and I could cut that out. Must be my internet then, up here, because I got the notification before when I was running the 1010, 20% left. If I decide to do a live up here again, I'll have to bring a battery pack and actually use the proper cameras, not the front facing ones. But yeah, I could get a photo of this where it seals. I've got cork at home. It's 1 mil. 1 mil, 1.5 mil cork a roll of cork gasket paper. I'll get a photo of this, clean it up, get a photo of this, get the measurements, cut duplicate on a shapes box or something. Yeah, I can cut it out and I could possibly make new tank gaskets for the Max. But the 60 looks like it's got something all the way around it. That 1010 does. The 1010 does, you can see it comes out spilling out here. So maybe whatever it is has definitely worked. It spits out the fuel cap. Duckbill valves are going to be a mission of, I don't even know how to get them out of the caps. I haven't even checked the screws, so I might just leave it because it's not leaking. But the muffler's pretty rotted out. Keep forgetting that cap. Maybe we have an air leak. That's another thing I've got to find. I've got to find out about my bearing shop if those seals are, you can even get them anymore. Because the 710 Auto, the yellow and blue one, I reckon might need some seals or a carb kit or something. Maybe I'll wait. We're coming up 3 hours. That's alright. Can watch it tonight, re-watch it. Oh yes, I re-watch my own videos. There's duckbills in the caps. Under that, because when they're sucking fuel, that's what relieves them, that little thing there. But there's a duckbill in here. I'll have to watch. Well, Leon doesn't fucking have a video on. Excuse my French. Leon doesn't have a video on how to change them. Well, it'd be the same as, no, it's not the same as home light caps because they're in the side of them. But there's definitely duckbill in them. What a saw! It's full every time. What a saw. The kill switch is a bit tight. I've got to pull my finger out and order some HT lead because most of all the ones that come from JP, they've got tape wrapped around them there. She shoots some air out that bloody funny shaped exit port. Better hurry up and get yours sorted. We'll have to do a pipe versus stock comparison. 20 inch. I don't have. Do I have a Mac 20 inch? 18. I think that one on the 10. I think it's 18. I have never measured it. 22. That's pretty stuffed, that bar, but it'll go alright with a new chain. 22, or I'll put a 325 rim. It's got a brand new rim on it. It's never seen a chain. Hasn't had a chain on it for a while. And I'll have to get the compressor and an air hose sorted so I can use the sandblasting cabinet to clean up the drum, the clutch, the muffler, maybe this bottom part of the tank. That clutch needs at least sandblasted because she's pretty rusty. I could do the electrolysis on it, but I'll have to get another container. Hit the thumbs up. Be appreciated. I'm just up here having fun, revealing what the next project is. I might actually do another fire of it now, just to show people that she fires. She's minty, except it's missing half the bloody fuel tank. Well, I could be like the racers and put a whippersnipper fuel tank at the front and just run it like that. Oh yeah, HL carb. Straight off. I could do it. I'll have to speak to good old Mike, find out what's needed to put a HL on it. Surely that'd get some views, a HL carb on a 710 auto. Although, Das, you've spoken to him, that's a nice bearing in there too, look at that. No sideways play. Yeah, I'll have to go back and see how he's mounted the HL and the throttle setup. I'll have to pause the video and study it, because I've got whippersnipper fuel tanks. They're still in the boot of the car, unless Kieran's already dumped it. The scrap metal. Fuel tanks for whippersnippers there, but would it get views, or do I do just a firewood build? Kind of gonna want to need a bigger, like a different top handle for clearance and stuff, and a big ass pod filter on top of the HL. I'll have to find the box of NOS bits from Sophia. He sent me those rubbers, the band between the two linkages somewhere, and stuff. Oh, this dust screen's mint. I'll have to take that off and put it on another saw. Well, the 60's alright too, I think. I think she's minty. Oh yeah. I've got to give one to my Pokemon mate, the 3D print stuff. I'm going to try and get him to make the dust screens up. I said, because I need like 10 and other people. White def. Yes, but sandblasting will get rid of that. I do have another complete part saw at home, that one that I was saying at the start of the live feed that was seized. It runs now, but it's you might have to resend it. I can't remember what it looked like. Yeah, I do have a tank that's good. It doesn't leak. It's on the other one that was seized, but now runs. But I've put the carb in the 60 out of that 710 auto, and the 60 will need the muffler off that, or I'll find another valve. Find another valve for it, or maybe get Darcy to do what he did the other 710 for basically the rest of my collection, because that's sick and the note is just insane. Did I miss a comment? Got that tank. You still got it? Yes, it's got white depth through the tank. Not much though. Apparently they bolt to where the car box bolts through. Come on, show it. Thank you. Through the cylinder, just make a gasket and use longer bolts or studs. What was that for? Oh, yeah. Oh, for the carb, right, gotcha. The HL. I think I remember him. Only problem is, starter side, you got the oil pump rod, the manual rod. I suppose if you're using an auto saw, you're going to get the pulse up so you can turn up the oiler. But if I'm, oh Jesus, 10% left, guys. I'm going to have to, yeah. I can talk until it finishes, and then when I get home and plug it in, I just have to finish. We can make those muffler cover up, it's easy. Sick. I'm talking about the HL. You'll have the rod in the way to get the spanner in this side to hold the head or the nut. Yep. I have nut cert. I've got nut certs, so I can drill holes and then put the nut certs in. Then I'll just have to make the gasket a bit thicker to clear the washer that it comes on the nut cert, and then all I have to do is put a bolt through this way. I don't have to hold anything underneath. I reckon it'll get views. That's mainly why I'm doing it, but I want a metallic toy as well. Well, I've got the 610, but it's 60 cc's and not really off its tits. It was better with the Super Pro 81 carb or the stock carb. If I knew how to drill out a carb for more fuel, I'd just use that one. But a HL, what's it got to be off though? That's the next question. 07 S 75cc carb, 80cc 80cc saw. They're all different, aren't they? Well, the 08S, it keeps up, I suppose. I can't have a cigarette. Oh, yes I can. No, I don't. Oh, yes I can. I do. I I've got cheapos in the car. The fake Manchesters. I go get a dart, have a bit of a yarn, then I've got to go. Back in the tick. See if they're any good from sitting in the car, dried out. I reckon they were wet. They have dried out. Oh, that's harsh. So, who else other than Das is here? Is it still vintage? Yes. Well, he commented not long ago. I think I'm... You haven't mucked around, I think, okayed, it says. Yep. Is it raining? It is. I reckon the HL's I can't remember what model that Mike Nolan put it on. Was it a 700? 1010? 710 auto, was it? Might have been. Well, yeah, I suppose the Tillys. Unless we cut a far out. The stack of the filter on the HL, because you can put a stack and a filter on these already. Played around. Yes, I get you. Well, they seem to fuel a lot more than. Well, they hold a lot more fuel than these carbs do. These HS and the SDCs and all that. Only thing is, they run an impulse as well, so. That should line up with the original impulse hole, but I can drill another hole, as we all know, because, well, me and you know, because we had to do it on the 610s. Yes, and that Bantam would have been, I think the Bantams are they mid 80cc or are they 78 or 79? I can't remember the cc's on the Bantams, but that would have been a bigger HL Tilly. So I'm kind of going to need to run one off. Well, I've got one there off the 620 Pioneer. It's just I've got to find the rest of the screws. I've got the top half, the middle plate, and the bottom plate. There's no gasket or diaphragm, so I've got bags of those. But the 6 screws that go on the bottom, I think I've only got 4 or so. But I've got a parts 07 there, I believe. Yes, that still has the carb on it. So I've got one for 101cc saw. I've got HLs for 75, or I've got them for 48 and 56 cc. And one for 80, but that's going on the 450. So I'm hoping that 80cc one will run the 450. So the question is, do I do that style build or put the correct, like a complete tank on it and have it like the rest, but it's just going to be ported? Or do I leave it different because it's going to be ported so everyone can identify it on video? Because I believe there's a spacer as well between the, yeah, there is a plastic spacer between the carb and the intake. So I'm not sure what Mike did, whether he just gasket between the tank and that straight in. I might have to message him, and he'll probably think I'm copying him. Not really, because the numbers are obviously going to be different. That's just the different model HL, I believe. That one you can't, the one with the metal barb, you can't, it doesn't unscrew, I don't believe. So it's got to have a different, it has a different cork gasket, and the screen, it's smaller, I think, or bigger. I think I've got one with those metal. Well, it doesn't really matter because instead of the carb sitting like that, it's going to be like that. So a removable one would be better, so you can check the screen. But obviously it's going to have new hose, new filter in the tank. Depending on the tank style I go with, I can have one that lays in there. I'll have to like zip tie it or something to the handlebar, or however the one your one is, I can't remember now. I'm getting excited. That should grab, what's this? Hang on a minute. I've got it all. I reckon you should. If I see any Macs come up cheap, I'm talking cheap, I'd like to grab them, especially side covers. But I don't check it near enough as I should. But yeah, I'll have to go shortly because the phone's going to go flat unless I just let it go flat. Fire up the 60 again and the 1010. We're at 3 hours. Woo! Doesn't even feel like I've been up here that long. I'll have to go though. I've got to have a shower and stuff. This 710 project won't be started today. Probably won't get to it till in the morning, depending on what time I finish. I start at 20 to 11. Probably still be going at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then yeah. Well, there's only a week and a half till holidays. Can't wait. 3 weeks. 2 weeks? 3 weeks. 2 weeks, and I'll probably, when I go back to work, I'll probably be taking some stuff with me to work on, because I don't think we'll be doing much. There's not much asphalt for next year. That smoke wasn't too bad. Can't do a carton of them though. They're harsh. They're not the real deal. The real deal's they're at home. I'm not at home. So, vintage, other than the 850, have you got anything else you got to work on? I've got these 3. I need parts for a CP70, as I've said before. If I can't get the correct parts, I'll probably convert it into just a rigid mount. Or wait, is it an AV? I could make a Super Pro 70 out of it. I got the PM60. I've got to wash it. It's got lots of white death in the tank. It's actually half full of just white powder. I was going to take it to the car wash and blast out the tank. I'll probably have to separate the tank and get into it. I've got to clean up the piston a little bit. Not much. Scotch Brite, unstick the rings. What size were they? Dust, but they're thin ring, I suppose. You can't get the bastards. Need a 1010S piston. Yeah, 570. I've got to give it a blast. And intake boots mint, impulse hoses mint. Be mintier with some aviation around the barbs before I put the hose on, just to insurance. I think the bearings are noisy. Yes. I think, are we lagging that much? It's a PM1010, just like mine, isn't it? It'll be worth it because you got, like me, you got clutch cover you can use on a different saws. Same bar and chain, just swap the bar chain and the clutch cover over and get into it. Oh, is it a 1010S? Why not? Turn it off a bit. Come on. There we go. We're almost running out of fuel. Now it's pulling some revs. I'll just keep playing with it and play. Oh, actually, I better not put it there. Wait for it to cool down. I missed a comment. I'm sorry. Hang on. Not talking about the 1010S, the 5700, the 570. Sorry. You said something about 1010S pistons the same. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, but I understand, but if it was me buying it, I wouldn't part it out. I'd give it a fighting chance. You know what I mean? But the clutch cover, yeah, you could use it on both saws, bar and chain. Kind of deal. If you don't like what I've got to do, I've got to take a clutch cover off a different saw to run the saw I want to saw on the day, use on the day. Like the clutch cover on the 1010 right now is off. It's off this saw with the bar plates. I've got NOS bar plates from Sophia, but to run the 24, I've got to modify the outer bar plate to run the chain tensioner. So I don't run the outer guide plate with the non-chain brake side cover because it's a husky bar. It's a husky bar, that Giant's, it's a husky mount. I only run the outer guide plate with the, I think it's an 18 or 20, whatever it is, the one in the shorts. The one that looks like the nose got hot and burn up the sprocket, but it's still minty, it just needs cleaning up. So I've got to dedicate 2 outer guide plates, preferably older ones, to elongate the adjustment hole to run the 24s. I'm going to buy keep it. Bastard goes off. Keep it. Yes, find a scored one or one that's missing plating. The only thing that's got me worried is because I know all the oil tanks have one hole, don't they? So the AV mounts the bottom bolts to that, and then you still got to have your 2 holes in the tank. So I'm wondering, technically, if I wanted to put a 1010S in an AV saw, essentially I could do that as long as it has the holes in the right. It does. To run the rear AV mounts, they same thing, single bolt in the cylinder, and then the 2 up the top. So why didn't they come out with I suppose the 570 is a 50cc option of an AV saw, but why wouldn't they make it the 1010 AV? Is it because they made a lot of them and they just thought, we'll make a 570, we'll do so many of them and then they'll be rare? Oh, yeah, So technically, you can smash a 570 oil tank on, so it's got the AV mount. There's an idea. If I can't save the 570. Give the 60 another run in a minute, and then I'll have to pack it up. Oh, I'm back. Phone died. Yep. What's going on? Three hours and 16 minutes. Not bad. The Pro 1010 seems to be cooperating more and more every time I run it. Wonder where Das went. I need to put the window up, but there's a lot of fumes. I bet the 60's leaking all over the bloody carpet. I've got to put something underneath it. Completely forgot. Want to sort that out. That leak. JB, the thread a small hole and do her up, but put the correct handlebar on it. Come back in, Darcy, or what? Oh, hey, my phone died. What's going on? Like I got a phone call in the car. It's not a real good one. I'm just, gonna say I need to put my window up, but the fumes are... Hey, what's going on? You missed the show. You'll have to watch it back now. Just went up the road to have a play because I can't do it at home. Gotta go get coffee and go home. My house is just there, but saws are playing with the noisy and everyone will have a whinge. Put it up a bit. You can see what's there, what I was playing with. You'll have to watch it back once it saves and I make it public. I've got to go to work tonight. I looked at the time. I left home 10 o'clock, I think it was. Can you hear me? For some reason, it's going through the car stereo. Sweet. Feel better now you're here. I can actually talk there. I tried searching on Facebook, but you mustn't have Facebook still. Nah, my brother's watching. What mill do you work at? I've always wanted to go to one, like an old school one, but all the ones here no longer. Nah, bro, still without, yes. I know, a long time. Oh, must have been Darcy to come in. Thought it was Darcy. I'll have to end it in about 5 minutes because I've got to use my phone to pay for coffee. I mightn't have to end it. I could, just double click and hang the phone out the window. I'll be better organised for the next live. I need another device so I can read the comments. If you can see behind me, the saws, there's two there. There's actually three in the boot. My next project's a McCulloch. It's going to be off its head. It's going to have an external fuel tank and a bigger carb. And it's not an old mill. Oh, yeah. You are. Yeah, I'll Google it. There's a town near us. We went there. It's called Sawmill Settlement. We went there the houses are there that the sawmill provided the timber for, but the mill's no longer there. I was upset because I wanted to see an old mill. It doesn't have to be in operation, just like to go there and have a look, but it's not there. And a couple of the other ones around here, I found out, I think it was at the start of the year, they've been forced to close down because the greenies. The world is changing. Not real good. It's a shame, really, to think that the government's gonna, so they're phasing out fuel altogether, gas, but they're still gonna mine to get the lithium and stuff for the batteries and all the power and that, but they're still gonna be running diesel to mine the, there's no electric equipment to mine. We have I've seen Canadians, hang on a minute, it pops up and goes away, that's why I need another. Canadian, I've got a Canadian 270, Pioneer 650s Canadian. Oh, you're talking about Canadian blades and stuff. I've got that the other live I did the other day when I showed it didn't really show the collection in detail, but I've got a Canadian 270, it's 95cc. I've got a 177 Canadian, that's 95cc but 3.8 big saw bench blades. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought you meant, but I've got Canadian built saws, petrol saws. But yeah, 710 auto is the next project. It's in the back. It doesn't have the top part of half of the fuel tank. It's been probably sitting out in the rain and whatnot. There's dirt and stuff around the carb tray, but I did put on film that I'll give it a shot of fuel and it fires and runs on the little pissy amount of fuel that I put in there. But I wanted to port a 1010, but the 1010s I've got I don't want to touch, so I've got four. What have I got? Four. One, that one, but that one, the other one, the one that's on the video, the blue and the Parramatta Hills 710, and I've got another 1010 that's been repainted with a spray can. Someone who owned the saw before me, before the guy that I got it off, sprayed it, and the Super Pro 81, got the 81 and the 710 from him. They just sit on the shelf. I have run the 81 because I wanted to run an 81. So the one that's in the boot, not those two there, that's a 60 and a 1010 Super 1010. There's another one there. I'm going to port it, put a really big carb on it, and a whipper snipper fuel tank, just zip tied or something to where the fuel tank is. But oh, that was the little thing. And but I was watching Bell Hopper's live before I went live. He revealed some numbers for a PM700, which is the 710. Sort of me coffee. 2 more, please. Thank you. That's it, thanks. I think the priming can's just fallen over. I hope it's not going to leak everywhere. 2 seconds. Hello. Thank you. I'm live. Back. I think that worked. So tell me if it didn't, I'll be running to the window. Yeah, I think it went over. Fuel smells getting worse. That worked. Sweet, I got money there for dinner tonight. Come get you. Yeah, it fell over. Ah! Jump back in. Massive twin band. Forest. Yep. Chaining themselves to, they're idiots. Tell ya. 3 thumbs up. Sweet. This is a long live. It's going to be I'll be re-watching it later tonight. Thank you. You too. Oh, yeah. Fumes. Be high in a minute. No. Rained all day yesterday and all night the night before. It was hot Friday. Was it? Yeah, Friday. 30, 33 or 32. It's a bit cold and overcast today. Darcy just sent me a link to something. Go. Yeah. Hasn't been hot for about 2.5 weeks here. We had a low pressure system, I think they call them, or whatever, come in raining, and then it was cold, not cold for me, but cold enough for other people where you wear jumpers and stuff. I wear 2 shirts when I go to work. I wear like a muscle shirt or a shirt like this under my work shirt, and that's it. Winter time, summertime, tracksuit pants. Unless I've got to actually wear work pants with tape, reflective tape on them, I'm in tracksuit pants every day, black tracksuit pants. 2 shirts. We've had about 2 or 3 hot days in amongst all that in like 3 weeks. It was 32 or 34 on Friday. It was like the live. I was doing the first live I did. I think it was Friday. Well, that was the hot day. Today's cold because I was using the rag and that wipe the sweat off my face because it was that hot in the garage. Put the aircon on. It doesn't go into our bedrooms, and our bedrooms gets the morning sun, but it's still hot in there through the night. We've got a portable aircon, but I threw the hose away that's got to go out the windows, so we can only use it as a fan, and it only blows. It's down, like it's up on my tall boy. It's the louvers are down as far as it goes, but it sort of just brushes across the base. And if you turn the aircon on, it puts the heater on as well, because the hot air gets put back into the bedroom because I haven't got the hose that goes out the window. I threw it in the bin. The last house we were in was the mint setup because I had the shed and the man cave separate, garden shed down the back. The house wasn't big enough, so, and it had a massive yard, so like 2 hours to mow the back lawn. Now it takes 10 minutes with the catcher. The old house was 2 hours without a catcher. Spent $2.5 grand on my man cave. All the timber and the structural ply and everything's still in there. The sheets on that because it was a greenhouse, 3 by 3 metre greenhouse. I turned it into a man cave. Like you don't have social, so I can't. I don't know if I can send you photos or not. You'll have to. You still got my phone number? Text me on that, and I'll. Yeah, I got photos of the tree I had set up with these saws in it. Still, I think. Got my colour collection. I know that much on camera, like photos. About 3 minutes from home again, so we'll have to end the live and wait for it to become available, and hopefully. You got a pen? Well, obviously you're watching on your phone. Dad hasn't got it because I haven't even got his. I message him on Facebook, but he never reads them. 0481 099 499. Okay. Just wave or something, I'll let you know if I get it. I'll have put bloody new brake pads in this car too. Grab something to eat and go to bed. Shower. Take the saws out of the back. Finish my coffee. And choose the tomato sandwich or something. It's a long live. Park the car this way. Sick, got it. I got it. I got to go now, but yeah, I'll talk to you on the phone. If everyone else catches on the next one, I might do a tailgate chronicles or something with the ute. Take the ute up to where I just was and sort out the Super Pro 81 and 2100 CD. Catch us on the next one. I'll see you later. Hooroo.